Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. Today we have got an interesting topic and we also will be working on hope. We're going to finish the painting here next to me. All right, so our topic for today is, are you afraid of criticism? And how do we face the fear of criticism? Now that can be a very big topic, and as I touched on it in our last video when I with the reveal of the reworked canvas over there just behind where the houses, I touched on two main categories. The first was if it was criticism that we would get from another artist, or if we want to learn maybe how to sharpen our techniques or something, how we can handle that. And the other one was just if anyone that does not really do art, if they don't have a clue what art is about and they've never picked up a pen or a pencil or even a brush, and they just say something nasty about your art, or they don't understand what you meant and it hits you. Okay, it happens. So what can we do? So let's dive deeper into this conversation, and we are going to at the same time start to work on our canvas. Now, getting back to the canvas, if I show you over here, we see hope. We don't. Sorry, I have not shared my screen. Let me do that. Give me just a second. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now you can see hope here in the background. This is the painting that I'm working on. Basically, I started with inks and with acrylic as a base, and I'm finishing it off with oils. Okay, so today we are going to be focusing on this area here, which is a hummingbird. Let me just see if I can get it more into the shot for you. That's better. Okay. All right. There you can see the hummingbird, and she's basically holding it on her hand. It landed on her hand. So we will be working on that. Now, my inspiration for the color of the hummingbird, I got from, let me see if you can read this, Creative Talents. Okay, I saw this when I was in a shop. Let me put it over here. This is like a piece of fabric for decoupage. It's very soft. It's thicker than a serviette, but it just had the most beautiful colors for me, and I thought, oh, that I can use as reference for my hummingbird. Okay, so Creative Talents, let me see, let me just give them a shout out. Yes, it's their website is creativetalents.co.za. They are in South Africa. Okay, they've got beautiful decoupage things. Okay, all right. So now let's have a look. Let's first start with our topic. Let me see here. I have made a list so that I don't forget anything, but you know what? It's just easier to speak just from the heart. What do you think? Do you think it's easier to speak from a script, or do you think it's easier to speak from the heart? Alrighty, let's start. Now let's make a scenario. What scenario can we create? You have worked for hours and hours on a beautiful painting. You created the most amazing art piece and you really like it. And the journey while you were planning getting ideas, doing research, getting the colors that you wanted to do, the style, everything, drawing little thumbnail sketches, playing with different types of media, all of that, that journey also took a few hours. And then finally, after, let's call it a few days, because a painting like that can usually take a few days if you want to wait in between for drying time and that type of thing. You are so happy with your painting, what you have created, that you feel so good, and you show it to your friend. And your friend says, oh, okay, and moves on. Obviously, they don't share the same passion as you because you've put so much into it. Now, maybe our friend would say, it's usually, you know what is the most difficult? If a family member tells you, no man, that doesn't look like that. This is not the way, let's take a tree for example. This is not the way you paint a tree. Have they painted a tree? No. Do they do art every day? No. They don't like art. So why does it affect us like that? Question. I would like to hear your comments about this topic. All right. So yes, that hurts. But usually what I say to myself is, Ingrid, the journey, the fun you had, the anticipation of seeing your final creation, that was worth $1 million for you. Remember, not all of us have the same eye for art. Not all of us have got the same taste. So yes, let people say what they want, but don't let it attach to you, okay? Sometimes you just have to flush. So it reminds me now, my daughter, when she was young, sometimes she would have a friend or someone at school that really said, you know, kids, they can say hurtful things or don't really think before they say something that could really have an impact. And then I would tell her, Sabina, flush it. And then she would, yes, mom. And then she would go to the loo and flush the loo. Just flush it. So if you do get those types of negative comments or be blindsided by someone who really do not know anything about creating art and the creative process, don't let it get to you. Okay, flush it. All right, so now let's see. How can we start to get over our fear of criticism? Maybe you haven't painted in a year. Maybe you've put down your pens and paper or your brushes after someone really made a comment that you really took to heart and you decided, I can't paint, I can't create, I'm not creative. Okay, maybe it's been a long time. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe you've never picked up a brush or a pencil or anything to create because you feel maybe I will get that criticism. You know what? Start small. Start small. Start by getting a normal little sketchbook. It does not have to be a fancy Moleskine sketchbook or a sketchbook with cold pressed paper or handmade paper. It can be an ordinary book, any book. Get into the practice of just doing a few little sketches every day, even doodles. Now, I know that when I am on a call, maybe on a phone call, and I have to really think what is the call is about, I love to doodle. And it's little pictures like that. tiny, tiny pictures. I would just doodle a few frames, and then I will just do, even if it's a flower, a fly, a cat, whatever, just lines. It helps me think. It helps my right brain has its entertainment then, and my left brain can actually work. Okay, so that is the first one. Now, let's see if we can start here. We'll come back to the list a little bit later. There's 3 more things I want to say about this. All right. So now here we have got, we're going to put in our hummingbird. So what I have on my palette here, I don't think you can see my full palette. Let's see if I can move the iPad a little bit. Sorry, if you do see turtles in the background, I'm busy with a watercolor turtle or a watercolor challenge, and I've decided on sea turtles as my topic. Okay, so they are all over. All right, so now let's see if I lift this here. You can see, sorry about the shadow, I have got on my palette, I have got on this side, looks black from here, but it's not. It is ultramarine, French ultramarine. This is Prussian blue. Over here I have got a deep red. This is violet, white, sap green, burnt umber, and yellow ochre. What I do have also, I've got a little bit of white spirits in here, artist white spirits if I do need it, and Galcut. Now Galcut, I have got one over here and another one over here, and that is just an amazing drying agent. Let me just put you back here safely. It's an amazing drying agent for oil paints. Okay, it helps you, oops, are we stable? There we go. It helps you to get your paint to dry faster. All right, because oil paints can sometimes take a long time to dry. Oh, and the cat's not in the studio today. She's decided that she would like to lie on my bed today. So she's got like her territories where she would lie for about a week and a half, and then she'd move from place to place throughout the house. All right. Okay. So I am going to start with just the bottom piece of the body, and if you can see here, let me just see, yeah, okay. So here I've left the space open for my hummingbird. Okay, so here you can see what I've done with this painting. I love the colors, the color combination is so nice, and I've also put in a bit of gold. So this color over here, yes, it's fairly dry, so that's fantastic. So the blues and the richness of the canvas below, all those colors come to the forefront, so, and it gives texture. So we should not be afraid of a canvas. It must be like, yay, what can we do with this canvas? Okay, so let me start here and let's see what we can do. Okay. This is also just a brush stand that I've made with air dry clay, so my brushes can sit on it and not roll over my carpet. I've got a carpet in my studio. I think I've got red paint on my face. Oh dear. Okay, never mind. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start with this brush over here. This is a flat Prime Art, and it's a number 2. Okay, so I'm just going to just wake up my brush a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to take some of the white, and I am going to make a pale gray. I'm adding a little bit of the violet, a tiny piece of the red, and a little bit of the French ultramarine to give me a nice vibrant grey. Okay, now that looks a little bit on the warm side, so I would like to put in a little bit more blue. Let's have a look and see what we get. That's better. Okay. I don't think you can see where I am mixing. Let me see if I tip it a little bit like this. Sorry guys. Oh, I don't want to put pressure on my screen. Let me see if I can tip it. There we go. Okay. Sorry for the bouncy. Okay, so here you can see it's a very, very pale. It's actually more purple at the moment than anything else. So let me put in a little bit of the burnt umber and see if it will tone it down. It's definitely doing something here. Okay, all right, so I'm going to mix in a little bit of Galkut in here. I just want to make sure that I have enough paint if I want to do a larger area in this color. Okay, all right. Okay, so I am going to start here at the bottom. Now, what I do, I press down with my pinky, my little finger, to give me a little bit more stability. Okay, and I don't mind using a short brush or even a tall brush. It does not bother me at all. Okay, so I'm going to just put this down here, just to shape the body here of the little hummingbird. I don't want to make it a straight line. I just want to have it just like that. And let's just continue over here. Okay, just like that. Okay, I think I usually do not work with a lot of black, but I think I might need a little bit of black. So let me see if I have got my black here. I don't even think I did bring my black. Okay, so we are going to work without black. That's not a problem. Okay, so let's see. I think I like that gray. I just want to see if I can turn it a little bit, the glare. Okay, there we go, you can see. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to play with my color. So now I want to look at the wing. Okay, the wing over here is going to have a little bit of a shadow on it on this side, and maybe it will catch a little bit of the light coming from this side. You can see that this side is lighter. So let's have a look and see what I can do with this. Okay, so we have got a very nice purpley color here. Let's grab some white. Let's work in the Galkut. Let's add a little bit of white on this section here so that we have more than one shade. little bit more. Okay, now I have got 3 shades that I can work with. I have got my solid color straight from the tube. Then I have got it with a little bit of white just to lighten it up a bit. And then I have got more white just to give us a few highlights. Okay, so I am going to, let's see, I think I'm going to start on the head. Okay, so let's have a look here. I'm going to just place these down like this, just the marks. I'm going to work a little bit darker oops, let me just take that off. It's too muddy. Okay, when we use one brush, we must just make sure that our brush is not too wet. And then I want to use a little bit of the straight from the tube. Like that. A little bit more of that over it. Okay. All right. I'm also going to take a little bit of the white, just straight white. See? Okay, it's not straight white. After I've mixed with this brush, I can just bring it a little bit more whiter. And let's just do that. A little bit of white on it as a highlight. Okay. So now I want to play with my blues. Now we've got a bluey green that we can work with, and let's have a look and see what amazing color we get if we look at this color. That's gonna be so beautiful. Okay, so that's straight from the tube. Let's see if I add a little bit more white. That white over there has now been contaminated. So I will just add some more white over here. Okay. Okay, so now let me actually take, where did I put it? I'll use this to put some white over here. Okay, so that we don't contaminate it again. Okay, cool. Okay, I can't use that brush. So let me take another brush. That brush is full of purple. I don't really want the purple on it. I'm going to use this brush here. It's the same size of brush. I just want to wake it up a little bit. Sometimes these brushes are a little bit stiff from the washing process. Okay, all right, so now let's see here. These colors are so beautiful. It gives me like a aqua type feeling here. Okay, here we have got a nice pale blue color. Okay, so that would be our lightest. Let's take another one. Let's make it over here. And let's use some of this in it. Okay, a little bit of Galcud. Okay, so we have got our 3 colors again. All right, so I would like to start on the head and above the feathers over there. So I am going to use my medium over here. I'm just shaping the head a little bit different. Okay. now I'm going to put some of the lighter color on top of it. It does blend with the other feathers. Okay, clean this brush. That brush is not that nice. Sometimes it is strange that you get the same brush, but they feel totally different when you work with them. So let me just see here quickly. There we go. I see we are back on track. I thought I lost you there for a minute. Okay, let's go to the next point while I'm this side. Detach yourself from the outcome. What does that mean if we detach ourselves from the outcome? That means we are mindful in the journey, in the process of making something. You know, even if it is a total flop, that's fine. What did you feel while you were doing it? The outcome is not the main aim. If the outcome for you while you are practicing is you have to have a masterpiece every day, that's not realistic. Okay. Sometimes I also make fat boo-boos. And then I have to also like, oh dear, let's just do this again or scrap it totally. So there is no shame in that. Okay, so when we have got a detachment of the outcome, it is better for us because it is the journey. It's the journey. You are learning, you are exploring, you are having fun, you are reducing cortisol levels, you are just being present with you and being present in the minute. That is absolutely vital for us in this age. It's just to be mindful and just to be present in the now, because we can very easily either get lost in the past or in the future by comparing ourselves to everyone else. That's also a big no-no. We should not compare ourselves. Okay, all right. So now I must say from this angle, it does not look anything like the color I have on my side. So I apologize, the lighting is not that good. Okay, so now I want to continue here. I think let me just pull this up here and just see. Okay, so colors. I've got the beautiful flowing colors here and a lighter on the top, but now my light is coming from this side. So this would be my lighter area, so I will have a slightly darker area here. Okay, so my darks would be on this side and my lights would be on that side. All right, so let's have a look. Let's see, I want to go back to the blues. Okay. I'm also just going to draw the beak. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking business. Let's see. I will probably have to wait a little bit to finish this one, just to give it time to dry as well. But in my next video, you would then definitely see the finished product. Okay, so don't worry that you won't see what it would look like when it is finished. Let's have a look here at the next one. Okay. Remember why you are creating. So let me see. Why do you create? Or why do you want to create? I wish I could hear you answer me. Okay. I started making art when I was 6 years old. My first painting was when I was 6. It was a watercolor. And I copied it from a birthday card with a little girl with a big bow in her hair, that vintage looking bows, and snuggling a little kitten. Okay, and that, I'm so sad that I don't still have that painting. Somehow through the years, it was in a frame, it got lost. Okay, but that was just done on a normal piece of blue paper, mind you, not even watercolor paper, and with my normal, you know, the school watercolors with the big round discs that you get. It was a very cheap set, but I loved that painting, and that's where it started for me. So I create because it makes me happy. I love color. I love making things, and I must admit, I also like when people like what I make. Okay, that's just, I think, normal. But remember to connect with that feeling, the joy of creating when you are doing something. And I hope that over time, when you get used to just making pictures every day and doing something creative every day, that you will be able to just eventually just say, I don't care, I'm just having fun. All right, great. Now let me move it here before we run out of daylight. Okay, so now let's see, I've got some white here. I want to just add a few white spots here. Okay, so I think for the body, let's see what color we can get if we are going to use this. Let's take from this white over here. Let's warm it up a little bit. That's a very nice violet color. Okay. My brush gets muddy, so I have to just take the paint off like that and just reload my brush. Okay. I can also do it on the palette, but then I don't want to waste that color. Okay, so let's continue here. So here we have got the body, these beautiful colors going down here. Okay, and I'm putting it in down like in dabs so that it creates the feathery effect. Okay, now this little hummingbird has got a bit more bluey colors to it, so let's focus a little bit more on our blues. Over the years, I've decided that normal toilet paper or tissue paper is nice to wipe off your brushes when you are painting. Otherwise, you sit with a whole house full of rags or a studio full of rags that stink, okay, because they really honk. So with this, I can just go and put it in the bin and it's out of the way. I'm going to play with this color. I'm going to make this into a wash. So I just want to wash this one. So I'll just use a little bit of the spirits, the white spirits, and I'm going to just use a little bit of white here. I want to just bring it closer. Let's see what wash we can work here. I want it a little bit lighter, not too light. Okay, so I'm going to just wash here. Just wash with oil. And the feathers are like going into each other, so they can like look as if they are blending. It's fine. It's little feathers sitting on top of each other. Maybe these feathers come down a little bit more. So we have got a little bit of movement there. Okay. All right. So now let's have a look and see. The wing. So the wing, I would like to bring more of this beautiful color in here into the wing. It's similar to the color it has at the moment. Just washing it here. Just remember to add some Galkit here. Otherwise, we might be taking a few days or a few weeks to dry. So let's see. Just bring that in here. And I am going to put in a little bit of green. So let me see what color I would get if I bring in a little bit more green. So the sap green here in this wash, I like the color I see. I actually want to put some of this on its head over here. Okay, all right, and bring some of it over here for the other wing. Okay, now I would like to take some of this purple that I've got here. Let's see, it's such a nice color, purple, violet. Let's call it violet. It's been modified, so there's a few colors in there and a bit of white. So now let's have a look if we can play with the long feathers on the wing. Need a little bit more color here. Okay, let's do this also here. The two wings, and then the little tail. So let's do the tail and then we'll get back to the questions. Okay. So I think you can see it from here. Okay, I'm just making sure that that screen doesn't die on us. Okay, the eye I will add last because the eye is the final detail and the eye needs to pop out a little bit. Okay, so that I will do last. Okay, so now for the tail, let's take a little bit of the sap green, mix it with this blue wash I have here. It's giving me, it's nearly giving me a Payne's gray because I also had some purples on the brush. Okay, yes, that's what I want. Okay, so now we can also see the shape of her finger. We have to just watch. The shape of the finger will still be completed. Okay, and I'm just going to take it up to there. Now I want to just bring in a little bit of shadow over here and maybe over here underneath the wings. Just like that. Okay. I like that combination of color, so let's just replicate it again a little bit darker. Let's take that color. It's nearly giving me a black. A little bit more blue. Okay, let's see. So here I want to just bring in that shadow of the wing. Okay, and I also here want to have the shadow of the wing. Underneath the tail, right at the top, I want to have it much darker to indicate the shadow. But now I am just pressing the wash onto the oil wash onto the canvas because it is very, very wet. Okay. Now let's clean this brush. Okay, so you can see that I've used someone else's picture or product as an inspiration, but I'm not painting it exactly like theirs. It's not the same size, it's not the same colors or anything. It's just to inspire me. They have got fantastic colors on there, so I really like their decoupage papers. Okay, so let's see. I want to add a little bit more of the green here on the wings. Okay, and now I want to, I think I'll use another brush for this. I'm going to just use another brush for white. Okay, because I want to make a few white highlights. Okay, so here on the wing here itself, I want to bring in some white because we have got this part of the wing. And I'm just tapping to imitate tiny feathers because these birds have got the most tiniest feathers. Okay, so I'm just tapping here just to show where the whites can just be a bit of highlight catching it. Okay. Ah, I like that. Okay, so now I am going to see if I can just do the eye quickly. I'm again using my very dark Payne's grey that I've mixed with all my colors and steadying my hand and just drawing the outline, a little circle. I'm continuing to do that over and over. I'm going to take a little bit of Galcut here, just make sure it will dry and redo the process. Okay, and I'm getting all of that off the brush. I'm going to just take a little bit of white. Let's see, where can we put the little, let's make the highlight over there. Let's give it to, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot? It doesn't have feet. Where are the feet? Okay, so let's make tiny feet. I think let's just take this here. It's such a tiny bird. We'll just pretend the 2 feet are over there. Okay, what I just want to fix up here is just this shadow here and a very dark shadow in that wing. Okay, so that we can see it. And there it is. A hummingbird, yay! Okay, let me just clean my hands a little bit on my apron, then I'll take you closer. Okay. Can you see it? You can see where the light is coming from. You can see the shadows. And I just put the paint down. I just dabbed the paint. I didn't even paint because they have got such tiny feathers. It didn't matter if I had a perfect brush or anything like that. I think it looks fantastic. I had fun, and I'm sure you also had fun looking at it. And you can see it does not look anything like this one. That way. Okay, it doesn't look anything like that one. Not at all. Different colors, different wing size, everything. All right, that was fun. Let's see. Remember why you create. We've looked at start small, detach yourself from the outcome. Remember why you create. It's an outlet for our emotions. I mean, I'm very happy after I have created. And strangely enough, also making the YouTube videos, I feel so happy afterwards. It's like, wow, okay. Dopamine spike, okay. All right. And then number 4, embrace imperfection. So you've gone through this process and you see everything, and then you think at the end of it, I don't like what I see. And you know what? It is okay. You have had such a time enjoying yourself making your art. And that is why I feel that don't worry. Don't worry about what someone might say or what someone might think or how you would feel. I just want to see if I can get some more light on it. Just have fun, because when you have fun, it is a creation process, and in that process, it can also help you with stress or healing emotional things. Art is very therapeutic, and art makes us happy. All right. That's it from me, people. Thank you so much, and I really hope that you will subscribe. And this is a studio where even dreams believe. So I hope to see you again soon. And maybe I can work on some watercolor. Let's work on some watercolor sea turtles. Okay. I'll show you the start to finish. All right. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.